Hi everyone, today here I am in front of you all to discuss the topic motion. We are going to classify this motion topic into 6 parts. The first part which we are going to discuss today is going to be talking about what is a motion. And when you are speaking what is a motion, you have to describe some words which you will be using in this lesson. One is position, another one is displacement, distance, displacement, uniform motion and non-uniform motion are the things which you will be, are the words which you will be using in this particular topic. Now let us go into the topic. The first thing which we are going to talk in this topic is, what do you mean by a motion? Motion is nothing but if a body is said to be in motion when its position changes continuously with respect to the stationary object taken as a reference point. Now what does that mean? Now that means, like, whenever you are taking a particular body, for example, you take a body, let us think this is a box, it is at some position A, position is said to be A at point A, and the same box after some time, if you are saying, it is at point B. Now imagine there is a tree over here. Tree is stationary. Imagine this box is moved from point A with reference of this A, with reference of the tree. This box has moved from that point A to point B. First of all, this box is at point A. After some time, it just shifted to point B with reference of the tree. Now this is what we call it as reference frame. Referring to this body is in motion, right? Imagine if you have a person standing on this box. If you take another person who is standing on the same box, with respect to this person X, this person is Y, with respect to X, Y is at rest, as well as with respect to Y, X is at rest. Right? Because they both are traveling on the same box, but they themselves feel that they are at rest. That means here it depends upon the observer's frame. If the observer is standing near the tree and observing them, he is at rest, so he finds those both people are at motion. But if this X and Y see among themselves, they feel that they are at rest. Even though they are moving from your perspective view and my perspective view, these people are said to be in motion from this particular point of view, but from the point of X and Y, these people are at rest. So here we can tell one thing: rest and motion are relative terms. Rest and motion are relative terms. Now I have given you an example over here. To understand that example, you can see when the position changes of a car. So for example, there is a car, it is located somewhere, and you are standing near a house, or you are standing near a tree or something. The car will be moving, the things will be passing away, the surrounding things will be passing away. What happens is, you feel that the car is moving, but you don't feel that the car is moving, you feel the surroundings are moving, like they go back. But with respect to the surroundings, the car is at motion. So here what they say is, when the position changes of the car, that means when the position changes of the car continuously with respect to a stationary objects like house and trees and etc., then we say that car is at motion. With respect to a stationary objects you are taking out. Like, how do you say those objects are at stationary? With reference to the ground, they are at rest. Okay, so this is the meaning of motion. Let us go to the next point: distance and displacement. Distance is a scalar quantity, displacement is a vector quantity. Why do we call like that? What is the difference between them? Actually, these both denote the length. Now, what is that? Okay, now when we want to talk about distance, you consider a particular body. For example, you are talking about the distance. For example, if you want to talk about distance, now if you consider a body like one second. if you're considering about a body, like for example, if you want to talk about the distance, let us take there is a block at position A. If the block is moving to position B, let us take over here, this has moved from A to B and from here to C. Let us take the block has moved to C point. Now the positions are changing. Now when you are checking out, it is moving from position A to position C. It has moved. The complete path, let us take this is 2 kilometers and this is 3 kilometers. Now when you consider this, what happens is the total path traveled by this block is totally 2 plus 3, which is 5 meters. When you come to the displacement, now if you are talking about the displacement, this complete thing is called as distance. This complete thing is called as distance, this thing. Well, coming to the displacement, you can consider this shortest path. That means from where did you start? Where did you end? Here. So from the starting point to end point, if you are trying to find out the thing, let us think it is only 2.5 meters. Now this is the shortest part. You are only concentrating on starting point and ending point. When you concentrate on starting point and ending point, then that you have a direction over there. Here it is starting and that way and that direction it is moving. So when you concentrate in that direction, then it is called as displacement. Simply to say, the complete path traveled by the body is called as distance. The shortest path traveled by the body is displacement. Right? I hope this is clear for you. And we have some points. There is a difference between these two. Now, distance is nothing but the complete path traveled by the body. That means the complete each and every step is going to be counted. Like displacement is nothing but where did you start and where did you end. There will be a direction also for that. Now, let us get into the next thing over here. Here, the next thing which we are going to discuss over here is the difference between them. What is the difference between them? The distance and displacement. Now, when you are talking about distance, I already said you, it is a scalar. So, let me take, now, this is a scalar. Like distance is a scalar quantity because you don't have a specific direction. You will not bother about which direction you are traveling, but you will count each and every step you are traveling. For example, you are going from your house to school and school to some shop. Each and every step is going to be calculated. But for displacement, you will directly say from where did you come? You came from house, and from house to the shop directly. So you have a direction. From the shortest path, you have a direction. But for distance, you can go anywhere around this thing and you can reach your destination. So when you don't have any direction but only the scalar quantity, like you have only the magnitude, then it is called as distance. Like it is a scalar quantity, that is the example of distance. And if you have a direction, then it is called as a vector type of physical quantity. So vector physical quantities who are going to have a direction and magnitude, those are called as vector type of quantities, and displacement is one of such kind of quantity. And symbolically, distance is represented with S and displacement is represented with S bar, right? So now, distance traveled by a moving body cannot be 0. Yeah, because each and every step is going to be counted. If you don't start moving, there will be no count over there. But if you start moving, each and every step is going to be counted. Like if you go forward, yeah, and come back, 3 steps front, 3 steps back. Total, my steps are 6 steps. I'm calculating each and every step over here. But for displacement, I started from here, I moved to this end, and again I'm coming back. Now, I reached to the same position. So when I came to the same position, where did I start from? So my displacement is 0. There is a chance of displacement to get 0, but there is no chance of distance to get 0. Now that is what this slide is going to explain you about, right? Now, let me give you a small example on this. Like distance moved is the actual length of the path traveled by a body. Yeah, that definition we know. The length, shortest path which traveled by the body is called as, that is from initial position to the final position, is called as displacement. Now let us take an example over here. Imagine a person standing over here. Imagine a person standing over here. When you consider a person standing at this particular position, let us take, he's standing over here. At origin, we can take it as 0. When he is starting at 0, he can move from that place. He moved, first of all, he moved from 0 to 60. He moved from 0 to 60. 60 kilometers he has moved. After that, what did he do is, he just returned back from there. To what distance he returned? Body started from on a straight line on an origin. From the origin means from 0, and then he moved to C, B, and he passed and he reached that A. Now, and then moves back and reaches C. He just moved back and reached this C back again. Now, he reaches C and reaches A and moves back C through B. Okay, through B he came. Then, if you consider the distance is nothing but completely he moved 60, that is from O to A. And after that, what did he do? After that, he reached from A to C. A to C. How do you calculate A to C? 60 minus 25, you will be getting 35. So this is 35. So his total distance is nothing but each and every path which you have traveled is 60 plus 35. So you are going to get 95 kilometers. So he have traveled 95 kilometers from A and then came back to C. In terms of distance I am talking about. This is in terms of distance. Now what about in terms of displacement? Displacement is nothing but he has started from here and he has ended over here. I don't bother where did he move forward. I only consider where did he start and where did he end. Now his starting point is at origin, his ending point is at 25 kilometers away from his starting position. So this is going to be my displacement, which is 25 kilometers. So that is what this answer is, and this is what this answer is. Right? I hope you understood the difference between distance and displacement. And let us talk about different types of motions. We have uniform motion and non-uniform motion. We will talk about this in next part.